You guys, you are not going to believe what happened to me today. I have to tell you this because it's amazing. It's one of the most amazing things that I have ever heard. Most of you know that I have been taking care of my mother this past year. The Lord had me quit my job so that I could do that. And she fell a couple of weeks ago and was in the hospital, and now she's in a nursing home. And she was taken to heaven. This is just shocking to me, because 5 years ago she fell and broke her thigh, and she was in shock trauma for 3 or 5 months. I can't remember. It was a long time because my father died at the same time. And the Lord took her to hell when she was recovering from that, and now He's taken her to heaven. She said she's been there 4 or 5 times. Now today, my mother was not all there. I mean, she was losing track of where she was, and so you can maybe discount what I'm going to tell you, but there is no question in my mind that she has been taken to heaven, because some of the things she told me are things the Lord has already shown me, okay? For instance, first of all, He told her that she was not going to be in rehab for very long. And she saw Jesus in her dreams, and He was preparing a banquet. And everybody in heaven was getting things ready for this banquet. I am not kidding you. I am not kidding you when she told me that. I mean, because you have to understand, she wasn't herself. I mean, I don't even know if she knew who she was talking to. And then she told me some different things about our family. She saw my sister, Cindy, who died at the same time my mom was in shock trauma. And she had been a heavy drinker, and demons came when she was dying. She told me they were coming to get her. And then the Lord put me into this warfare and delivered her in the hospital and saved her on her hospital bed. I mean, you wouldn't even believe half the stories that I could tell you. But anyway, she saw my sister up there, and she saw her house up there. And here's the thing, she saw my house. Now, about 15 years ago, I had a dream of my house. At the time that I had it, I didn't know it was my house until later. And in the house, I love wood, okay? I built houses, and, I love antiques, but I don't like them to look old. I like the style of the old houses. Anyway, in this dream that I had about 15 years ago, I was in this beautiful house, and it just had bright light all throughout the house, and it had one of those big staircases that goes up one side and comes down the other. And at the top of the staircase, there was this huge picture window, and this brilliant white light was shining through the window. And I've always loved those staircases that go up and come down. And then every room that I went in had this beautiful wooden furniture. And when I woke up, not realizing it was my house, I was like, this house was furnished exactly the way I would like it, and I wasn't thinking it was my house. And then years later, I realized it was my house. Anyway, recently, I had a prophet tell me, he was giving me a prophetic word, the Lord told him that my house was filled with antiques, wooden antiques, from some French king. I mean, can you believe that? So I looked up, I didn't think I liked French furniture, so I looked it up, and there is some French furniture that is just absolutely beautiful. I don't like fancy, I like things that are more simple. So anyway, then I had a dream more recently, I don't know how long ago this was, I was walking down a path. I knew my house was behind me, okay? I was in heaven. I knew I was in heaven. I was walking down this stone walkway. Now, it just so happens that in my house that I own right now, I built my own stone walk, okay? I put stone dust down and laid this stone. I have an old house, and I have all this old stone around the property, and I picked all the stone up and made this sidewalk. It's like 70 feet long, and it took me all summer to do. And I recently had a dream about my house. I was walking down a hill on this stone walkway. Now, this stone walkway was beautiful. I mean, it was nothing like the one I built, but it was just beautiful. And on either side of the walkway, there were these beautiful flowers that you could not even imagine on Earth. And they were so colorful. And I knew that these flowers had been planted there for me. And one of my other favorite things is I love creeks and trees and rocks and all that. I'm walking down this stone sidewalk, and it goes right down into the woods, this walkway, and I had beautiful flowers all the way down into the woods with this stream. I mean, it was beautiful, and I knew it was my house, okay? In that dream, I knew it was my house, and this had all been put together for me. Well, my mother today told me that she saw my house. I did not see my house when I was walking down the walkway, because the house was behind me, so I didn't see what my house looked like. So she told me today. Now, she was kind of incoherent, but she was telling me about all this stuff that she saw in heaven. And she said that she saw my house. And she said that it had this stone walkway with these beautiful flowers on either side of it. And she said that my house was big and that it was white and it had white trim. And she said there was gold on my house. So I just can't even imagine that. But anyway, I was blown away. I was just shocked. I was just shocked. And she told me that she has a job up there and that she has to go back. So here she is, like, living half in the world, you know, because she's there in the nursing home, but she's not there. I mean, this is crazy. It's so crazy. I am just in shock. I really am. I can't even remember. Right this minute, I'm just so overwhelmed. I can't even tell you the other thing she was telling me, because my mind is like in shock. I'm just in shock. And oh my gosh, can you believe that? I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it that she saw my house and it was the same. Oh, and she said that I had this wooden, these wooden antiques in my house. And she said there were ruffles. Now, I've never been a ruffly person. She said, well, but there weren't too many ruffles, because I'm not a very ruffly person, but I have always wanted like this canopy. I had a canopy bed, but when I got divorced, I lost the bed. I bet the canopy bed has a ruffle. I can't even believe it. I wanted to share this with you guys. Jesus told her that she was not going to be there long. And she said that he is jokes around with everybody. And she said, what did she use? She called him a name. She said he's a real, you know, just a real jokester kind of guy. And he was smiling. And he was really happy because of this banquet that he was getting ready for. So I had to share this with you guys. I hope it excites you, because as you can see, I am psyched. I love you guys, and we will see each other soon. Bye.